What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another freaking video. Okay, and I'm not going to take long to get into it because in my previous review that I shared on my channel, I had no comment about what I will be reading next. But I'm going to jump into what I am currently reading and share some info about that. And with no further ado, I am reading none other than Vogue, the I'm pretty sure this is the October. Yes, this is the October 2020 release of Vogue, US Vogue magazine. Gracing the cover is singer Lizzo, also actress to some extent, and um consequently everything or a lot of what I've been having going on has been surrounded or influenced by wanting to know more about Lizzo. Um so she graced the cover of October 2020 Vogue in um just some amazing look. She's featured in red on the cover. There are also other photos of her featured throughout her feature. And you find her in a um, neutral tones. And that's mostly what she. Oh, and then there's this pink on the opening pages of Lizzo's feature story. And then the neutral tones with some attitude there, like you find in most of her photos. And I was pleased by the cover story article and what the writer had to say about her impression of Lizzo from a fan's perspective, and also some of Lizzo's comments on things going on in America, the pandemic, racial tension, um, her stance on it, and plus body positivity. Lizzo and the writer talked about her perspective on body positivity, and um, she gives her stance on it, which is that um, body positivity should just be positivity. It should be natural to appreciate who you are and love who you are. Um, with that said, in addition to reading this cover story on Lizzo, I went on to watch her feature on David Letterman's Netflix special, My Next Guest Needs No Introduction. And a lot of what she had to say on that platform directly mirrored what she's saying on the Vogue or in the Vogue platform. So that was a constant that I could appreciate as the reader. Now, also in the October 2020 of Vogue, US Vogue magazine, Vogue continues its apparent support of African Americans who model, African Americans who write, African Americans who shoot photographs, by featuring them in the pages of their magazine by photo, by profile, and another person of color featured in this issue of Vogue, along with the Lizzo, is Vice Presidential nominee Kamala Harris. Vogue gives her a brief spotlight and reminds us of her stance and why her presence in politics is important during this time. What it says for women and what it says for African Americans. And Vogue, in the way only it can, is continuing its support of African Americans in art, fashion, and things of that nature. So bravo, Vogue, from me to you. Um, so standing still for a moment, I mentioned I went on to watch the Netflix special between David Letterman and Lizzo after reading this cover story. But I was also led to view via Vogue's YouTube channel, 73 Questions with Lizzo, where she's really herself and just cute as a button. And that pretty much wraps up my review of this October 2020 issue of Vogue. Just some housekeeping. It's about $7.99 in US and Canada. Or you can, like myself, subscribe and receive the issue monthly and have these paperback copies as keepsakes from Vogue. And I think that they're even giving free gifts with subscription in some cases. So, not to leave a cliffhanger, the next material I'll be reading is no doubt the November 2020 issue of Vogue, featuring model, mentor, provocateur, and icon Miss Naomi Campbell in a very blushing or in white from head to toe. And I'm curious as what that symbolizes, and I'm hopeful that the feature story on her will shed some light on the meaning of her wearing white. She's also photographed with her eyes closed, very kind of calming feeling that I get from it. If I had to guess, Naomi Campbell will be quoted a lot on her perspective of the state of the culture. Yeah, that's the feeling that I'm getting from what this November 2020 release of Vogue will bring insight on. Secondly, I am picking up um another read that is longer, like some of my reads in the past have been. And give me a second. And this book is of the autobiographical genre. And it was passed along to me from someone who thought that, or who knows that I've been interested in finding the connection between music and spiritual healing. And the title of this book is Waking the Spirit, subtitled A Musician's Journey, Healing Body, Mind, and Soul. Andrew Schulman. And with an afterword by Marvin A. McMillan. And again, subtitled A Musician's Journey, Healing Body, Mind, and Soul. And in reading this, I plan to gain insight about the connection between healing and music and how that works. So prepare for my next review in no more than 2 months. In no more than 2 months. Give me that. And I'll be back with some sort of review of what I'm reading. And I look forward to any input on what you guys are reading and or writing. If there are writers out there and have something to say, I'm looking forward to it. And finally, the last bit of housekeeping is that I will be returning to Instagram sometime before 2021. And because my account is being recovered, I'm in conversation with Instagram now. And thanks to everybody for the comments on who could help, and some of them really came through, and definitely one came through toward the end. So I'll be returning to Instagram and look for an update from me about Instagram on what my handle will be, and share yours, and let's share that way, if you will. So that has to be all from me for this episode. And till next time, be well.